It's Monday, January 30th, 2017. This is PSN News. This weekend, members of the community took to the streets to protest Donald Trump's refugee ban. We'll have the details coming up next.
We'll also bring you the latest updates on Penn State's contract with Nike. Stay tuned.
Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Hunter Hulbert.
And I'm Alisa Vasquez.
Penn State President Eric Barron and the Penn State community are openly supporting refugees. Barron released a statement on Sunday in response to President Donald Trump's executive order on immigration. According to USA Today, a federal judge issued a ruling to temporarily allow people who landed in the U.S. or those who are in transit and hold a visa to remain. Trump has suspended the entry of all refugees to the United States for 120 days. In addition, the ban halts the admission of refugees from Syria indefinitely and bars entry for 3 months to residents of Iraq, Iran, Sudan, Libya, Somalia, and Yemen. Barron released a statement saying Penn State has joined the Association of American Universities in asking that the U.S. government end the order as soon as possible. Barron said, quote, "The best part of Penn State is our people, no matter what country they may call home. We support all of you." Protesters also took to the streets on Sunday to protest the ban outside the Allen Street gates. We will be monitoring this ban as it develops in the coming days.
Penn State will be extending its contract with Nike despite the United Students Against Sweatshops year-long campaign to force an end to the arrangement. Senior Director of Strategic Communications, Lisa Powers, made a statement following the decision. She said Penn State has sought an extension to the contract to allow more time to negotiate satisfactory terms of the licensing agreement with Nike, which takes into account concerns about workers' rights. Emily Gifford, the USAS president, said that she is frustrated because Penn State's decision to extend the contract was made after the administration agreed to let the contract expire. USAS will continue to campaign and strategize ways to put pressure on the administration.
Well, mark your calendars because this coming Saturday, State College will have the opportunity to make its way into the Guinness Book of World Records. According to the Daily Collegian, a nonprofit workshop called the Makespace will try to create the world's largest ice luminary display. Currently, the record is 2,651 ice luminaries, but organizers of this event have a goal of 3,000. Co-founder of the Makespace, John Stitzinger, said that the event will also bring the community together and share opportunities that are available through the Makespace. The Makery, Discovery Space, New Leaf Initiative, and Appalachian Outdoors will be supplying the ice luminary kits. A video clip will be sent to the Guinness Book of World Records to verify the final luminary count.
Thon 2017 is just around the corner, and the Penn State Club Cross Country just finished their 3rd annual Miles for Smiles fundraiser this weekend. The club's 46-hour treadmill marathon raised $15,692.75 for Thon. Altogether, the club ran over 386 miles from last Friday evening to Sunday afternoon, 40 miles more than their previous record. The Daily Collegian reported that the runners ran in 1-hour shifts each on the treadmill. Thon 2017 will be held at the Bryce Jordan Center from February 17th through the 19th. Coming up next, Mike Gilbert will bring you the latest sports news. Stay tuned.
Welcome back to PSN News. I'm Mike Gilbert with your sports update. A lot of big games and matches across the board for Penn State teams this weekend, but the most exciting may have been the Penn State National Open track meet Saturday afternoon, where 2-time records were set in the 600 meters. These guys and girls, pretty fast. Nittany Lion alumnus Casimir Loxam took home the W with a time of 1 minute and 14.91 seconds. That was just good enough to edge out Nittany Lion sophomore Isaiah Harris, who was just 0.05 of a second behind. Sophomore Tessa Barrett also posted the #1 time in the NCAA this season in the 3,000-meter race at just over 9 minutes. In Philly, 4th-ranked men's hockey team took the ice against Princeton Saturday. Couldn't get the job done thanks in part to a questionable call at the end that led to the Tigers netting what would be the game-winning score. Freshman goalie Peyton Jones thought the puck was out of play. It wasn't. That mistake would be the final blow in a 5-4 loss. Princeton just 8-11-2 on the year. That's not good. State losing back-to-back games for the first time this season. I wouldn't hit the panic button just yet if you're a Nittany Lion fan. After all, in Guy we trust. Nits will try and shake it off in Minneapolis, playing a pair of games against the Golden Gophers Friday and Saturday. Both of those games start at 8 p.m. Age, just a number. Maybe not for Tiger Woods, but for Roger Federer, who came out on top in one of the greatest tennis matches in history early Sunday morning. After coming back from a knee injury, Federer returned to form, beating Rafa Nadal in a 5-set thriller and took the first leg of the Grand Slam to the bank. The 35-year-old was the oldest finalist in Aussie Open history. Federer's performance should give some other people inspiration to break their own physical barriers. I know I'm headed to the treadmill right after the show to try and run a mile without passing out. Thanks, Roger, for that. That's your PSN News Sports Update. Everyone enjoy the Super Bowl. Trust me, hammer the under. We'll be right back after the break.
Hello and welcome back to PSN News. Tonight we have Andrew Kamowitz with us, a sophomore here at Penn State and a host of a new podcast on campus called Is This Thing On? How are you doing, Andy?
Oh, I'm doing just fine.
Can you introduce viewers to what your podcast is about?
So basically what it is we kind of like to call it a podcast about nothing and everything. It's hosted by, there's three of us. It's me, my friend Matt Martell, and my friend Sarah Vasile. We're all coworkers at the Collegian. And basically what it is at the beginning of the week, we kind of just come up with topics, pretty much anything. Like last week was an entire show about Disney and Danny DeVito. And then like a few weeks ago it was about like more serious stuff, like the election. Like really it just goes back and forth kind of by whatever we're feeling that week.
Okay.
Yeah, it's super, super, super fun, and you should all listen to it.
So you guys started off with writing and then you went to doing podcasts. So how did that transition take place? Why did the Daily Collegian want to go into the podcasting?
Well, a lot of it came down to the three of us. We all talked a lot. We're friendly. We have good rapport. Let's try and record one of our conversations and put it out and see what people think. And we've gotten some pretty good reception from it. We've gotten a few hundred views, or plays, because you can't watch it because it's audio. But we've gotten a few hundred plays, which isn't bad since no one's ever heard of us. So we're happy with how it's going. That's
great. So what can people expect in the future from your podcast?
Oh, well, this week, I haven't checked the email yet. I'm sorry, Sarah. But basically, we do a lot of pop culture stuff, whatever's happening in the moment. It's actually not very news-based. It's kind of more an entertainment comedy thing, just because a lot of people view the Collegian as this very kind of static, serious thing, and we're trying to change the image a little bit, break loose from that, add a more comedic, entertainment-y edge to it, I guess.
Okay. So where can viewers go to listen to this awesome new podcast?
Okay. Awesome. So it's on SoundCloud. It's called Is This Thing On? We're writing two. It's called Is This Thing On? And you basically, there's no direct link to it yet. There will be something on the Collegian's website in the future. But what you can do now is go to SoundCloud and just look up Is This Thing On? And it'll come up. It's like the 15th or 16th hit. So really, it's not that hard to find. We're there now.
Well, thank you so much for joining us, Andy.
Thank you for having me.
And good luck with the future with your podcast. We'll be right back after the break.
Welcome back. We're here with the latest national news headlines. Just days after President Donald Trump spoke about the elevated tension between his administration and the media, his chief strategist Steve Bannon said that the media should, quote, keep its mouth shut. The New York Times reported that this statement comes at a testing moment with disagreements over the size of the inaugural crowd and the president's claims that millions of illegal votes by undocumented immigrants swayed the popular vote against him. Bannon said that the media has become the opposition party, prompting responses from journalists at many major news organizations. Bannon added that the New York Times and the Washington Post should be, quote, absolutely ashamed and humiliated.
President Donald Trump is considering a 20% tax on imports from Mexico to pay for a southern border wall. President Trump has discussed the tax with congressional Republicans, but is still reviewing other options. White House Press Secretary Sean Spicer said that imports are one way that the wall can be paid for and that the cost of the wall in the big picture is not that significant. The White House has not come to a final decision yet.
Following Trump's refugee ban, multiple different companies have pledged to hire, house, and support refugee employees over the next few years. Starbucks chairman and CEO Howard Schultz says his company plans to hire 10,000 refugees in the next 5 years in 75 different countries. In a letter to current employees on Sunday, Schultz said he wanted to start the effort here in the U.S. to support individuals who have served with the U.S. troops as interpreters and supported personnel in various countries. Schultz also said the company wants to help Mexican customers, partners, and their families if any proposed trade sanctions, immigration restrictions, or taxes affect their businesses.
The annual March for Life took place in Washington, D.C. last Friday. Vice President Mike Pence spoke at the march, saying that life is winning in America. The purpose of the march is to speak out against abortion and defund Planned Parenthood. Even though President Trump could not attend the march, he supported the demonstrators via Twitter. The rally opened with a Christian rock concert where many demonstrators held signs quoting Bible scriptures, while some signs called to defund Planned Parenthood. The March for Life was the beginning of many other anti-abortion rallies across the country in cities including Denver, Salt Lake City, and Austin, Texas.
And that'll do it for us tonight on PSN News.
Be sure to check us out on Twitter at PSN News. Thank you for joining us.